Okay, what we're doing now in this lesson is I've broken into 2 different days because it can be tricky because you're writing equations, okay? So there's 2 different forms that you need to be able to use. You need to be able to use the vertex form, which has the vertex in it, and you need to be able to use the intercept form. There's a third method that we need to be able to do, but we will learn how to do that on another day, okay? So when you want to write an equation when you're given the vertex and a single point, okay? So whenever I'm given the vertex, I'm going to use my vertex form. Okay. My vertex is h, k, and my point is x, y. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug those things in. Okay, that looks like an N, but it's an H. So my y value is 23. I don't know a, so I'm going to leave it there. My x value is 6 minus my h value of 3 plus my k value of 5. So now I'm going to do my math, and I get 23 equals 3a plus 5. I'm going to go ahead and minus 5 on both sides and get 18. So I get a is 6. Now, we're almost done. It would be nice if it were that easy, but you have to actually write an equation for it. So now I'm going to plug it back into my vertex form. My a value that I just found, instead of a, I should be writing 6. X minus my h, which is 3, squared plus my k, which is 5. And so once I found my 6, I plugged it in for a, and then plugged in h and k. So I'm going to put the Dora pause on, because I want to make sure that you're caught up with that one, and I want you to try example number 2 on your own. Okay, so I labeled my h and my k. I wrote my formula again, and I started plugging things in. Y was negative 21. I didn't know my a. X was 4. H was negative 2, plus k, which was negative 3. My 2 negatives became a positive, and so, oops, I see a mistake. So it should be 6 squared, which is 36. And so when I divide by 36, I get negative 1/2. And so I have to plug that back in. So negative 1/2 x plus 2, because it's already a minus 2, so it's opposite, minus 3. So whenever you have a vertex, you want to try and use the vertex form. It's much easier than the next method we're going to do. Okay, the next type of problem we have is if I give you 2 intercepts. If you know what the intercepts are and a point. Well, intercepts is where it crosses the axis. And so remember our formula for intercept, y equals x minus p, x minus q. This is our p, this is our q, this is our x, this is our y. Okay? So now I'm going to plug it in. My y value is negative 16. So negative 16 equals a. My x is negative 1, minus my p is negative 2. Negative 1 minus my q is 3. Now, it doesn't matter which of these are p and q. It will work out the same, because they're both being subtracted from negative 1, so it doesn't matter which one you do first. I need to do my math, and so I get negative 16a equals a times 1 times negative 4. So negative 16a equals negative 4a, not negative 4, no, it's negative 16 equals negative 4a. I divide by negative 4, so a is 4. So just like we did last time, we need to plug it in again, but I'm just going to plug it into the same equation. So it'll be y equals a, which is 4, x minus p, which is negative 2, and if I minus a negative 2, it just becomes plus, and then x minus q, which is 3. Okay, so I'm going to put our little Dora pause on so that you can get caught up, and then that way you could try example 2. Okay, so looking at this, I knew my P and Q was 2 and 5, my X was 8 and negative 6. And so I plug in my Y, I plug in my X, I plug in my P, I plug in my X, I plug in my Q. I do the math and I get 18A is negative 6, and I divide by 18 and I get negative 1/3. So this tells me that it's stretched and goes down, and then I plug it in here, and that's it. So you have to recognize what kind of problem you have. You can have a problem where you have a vertex and a point, like examples 1 and 2 on the first page, or you can have a problem where you have 2 intercepts and a point, and it's problems like this page. So make sure when you're doing your homework, you're looking at these again to ask yourself questions and figure out the steps that you might have missed.